Adam Young with the Cloud Security team here at Microsoft. Let's introduce who you'll be talking to today.
Hi everyone, my name is Meital and I'm part of the Azure Security Center product team. Happy to be with you.
Hi, my name is Yariv and I'm part of the MCAS product team.
Great, thank you Yariv and Meital. We're excited to have you with us here today to share some of the highlights of the latest updates across our cloud security solutions. We have several new capabilities that can help you better protect your multi-cloud environment. We have a lot to share with you today, and there are plenty of additional sessions and resources to help you learn more. For today, we'll discuss the challenges and opportunities in securing your cloud environment, our approach to cloud security, and then dive into specific capabilities that can help you protect every layer of the cloud, starting with your cloud infrastructure, then moving to protecting your workloads running on this infrastructure, and finally to securing access and usage of cloud apps across your organization. Let's get started. Yariv, over to you.
Thank you, Adam. Cloud cyber attacks are on the rise across SaaS, IaaS, and PaaS environments. And it's no surprise given the accelerated growth these cloud environments are experiencing lately. In fact, recent survey shows that cloud attacks grew over 600% in the first half of this year. Attackers will always try to target the weakest link across identities, devices, data, applications, infrastructure, and network in order to gain access to corporate resources. We need to take the relevant steps in order to mitigate the security concerns related to these attacks. For example, misconfiguration of services, which is one of the top reasons that cloud services get breached, or loss of sensitive data, which can not only affect the company and its customers, but also severely hurt its brand reputation. Another example is the usage of unsanctioned apps, which may lead to loss of information and identity theft. Let's talk about our approach. At Microsoft, we leverage our global scale, trillions of signals, and deep security expertise to build industry-leading security solutions to protect your multi-cloud applications and resources. Our cloud security posture management, Azure Security Center, and our workload protection solution, Azure Defender, are tightly bound and enables integrated visibility, posture management, and protection across clouds. Our cloud access security broker, Microsoft Cloud App Security, provides a centralized approach to controlling access to and use of your most important data across any cloud applications. We can do this for third-party apps, custom apps, Microsoft apps, and multi-cloud resources. And when it comes to developing secure applications, we provide a complete set of tools from development to operations that helps you build secure applications faster and ensure data is protected throughout the app lifecycle. In this session, we will focus on the first three and their span across IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS security domains. You can learn more of our DevSecOps capabilities through dedicated sessions at Ignite. I would like to invite Meital to talk about our cloud security posture and cloud workload protection latest innovations.
So let's talk about how you strengthen your multi-cloud security posture. Azure Security Center continuously assesses the security state of your cloud resources across virtual machines, networks, applications, and data services. It even monitors server workloads running in other clouds and on-premises data centers. Its multi-cloud capabilities help you visualize your security state and quickly get insights on your configured security controls. Azure Secure Score is the core of the Azure Security Center security posture management capabilities. It provides insights into your current state and recommends actions to help prioritize steps you can take to improve your security posture and help prevent common misconfigurations such as sensitive resources exposed to the internet, lack of encryption, uninstalled updates, and more. Azure Security Center policies are built on top of Azure Policy Controls, so you get the full range and flexibility of a world-class policy solution for both auditing and enforcing security configuration. By leveraging Azure Arc, Security Center is able to expand its security management capabilities and especially its advanced threat detection beyond Azure for virtual machines and databases running in other clouds as if they are running in Azure. Security management and governance is easily achieved by leveraging Azure Arc and direct integration with both AWS Security Hub and Google Cloud Command Center. Once onboarded to Azure Arc, all other known and used capabilities offered by Security Center simply work, from security posture and compliance, policy management, threat detection, and of course, all the automation and management capabilities offered by Security Center today. One management, one view, one solution for all platforms. Without wasting more time, let's see how it works. As you can see, this is the new main dashboard for Security Center. From the start, I can see very clearly my entire environment protected and scanned by Security Center. I can see I have 6 subscriptions, Azure subscriptions. I already have an AWS account connected and a Google Cloud, 3 Google Cloud projects. This is easily done with a multi-cloud connector blade, where you can see the already connected accounts and easily can onboard additional ones. Here for this, for example, you can see how I can connect an AWS account. I provide some of the basic properties for the account, the credentials, and the next step is an Azure Arc configuration. As I mentioned before, our multi-cloud integration leverages Azure Arc, and in this case, we automatically identify AWS EC2 instances and onboard them to Azure Arc for you without any need to take any action. This provides the configuration for that, and Security Center does it on the background for you. Now, let's go back and see how the data shows when already connected. You can see in our inventory blade, I already see the AWS accounts connected. I can filter based on the type, either AWS resources or Google Cloud. I can also look specifically for the onboarded Arc machines from AWS by using tags assigned by Security Center. This is a great example. This is an Azure Arc coming from AWS, and I can see it's not monitored, missing an agent. I can see it has recommendations. It needs to be improved. Now I can go back and look at some other capabilities. If we look at the recommendation blade, I see my overall secure score. Now, this secure score is built not only on your Azure resources and assessment, but also resources coming from AWS and Google Cloud. If I filter on AWS, I can easily see new recommendations sourced from AWS, and they're actually contributing to the same secure score controls that your Azure recommendation do. For example, I can see we have a recommendation to enable Security Hub in AWS to make sure we get maximum information from your account and provide you with the full information and assessments for your AWS account. Next, I can see that additional information we have is regulatory compliance data. Not only the Azure coverage we had before, but now we also provide AWS CIS framework and Google Cloud CIS. This is coming directly from the native tools offered by the providers and mapped to Security Center recommendations. Let's take a look how security alerts are surfaced for AWS instances by Azure Defender. So as you can see here, I have an EC2 machine, Arc machine, and I can see I have a suspicious authentication activity. I can see all the details for the alert. I can see more specifics, how many attempts, which accounts were accessed. I can also see what type of attack was it and where is it in the kill chain. I can also look at some next action items I have, how to mitigate the threats, and also how to prevent it in the future by applying some of the security recommendations that will help me prevent. This was a great example of how multi-cloud is surfaced in Security Center today. Of course, on top of your cloud infrastructure, you have a variety of workloads running, serving different needs. These workloads are vectors for potential threats, and we have new capabilities that can help you protect these services. The threat landscape is becoming more complex with increasing sophistication of attacks and wider attack surfaces. Security teams struggle to manage this environment with multiple solutions that are often not integrated and built as silos. Microsoft offers a unique approach that empowers security professionals with both SIEM and extended detection and response tools from a single vendor with an emphasis on integration so that defenders get best of both worlds. With this combination of SIEM and XDR, defenders can now focus on what's important, namely mitigating threats and spend less time on infrastructure or large volume of low-fidelity signals. Today, we're introducing Microsoft Defender, an XDR that manifests itself in two tailored experiences, Azure Defender for protecting Microsoft Azure and hybrid workloads, and Microsoft 365 Defender, protecting users, devices, and applications. As part of this greater story, I want to focus on Azure Defender as an integral part of Security Center. With Azure Defender, we make sure to offer best-of-breed threat protection capabilities to help defenders deal with the ever-changing and challenging threat landscape. Azure Defender protection is enabled via dedicated hero offerings to the most used Azure resources, and we keep on expanding our coverage for more Azure resources over time. Azure Defender is also focused on breadth protection for all resources in Azure, leveraging AI and security expertise to analyze signals from the Azure Network Fabric and more control plane service level signals. Azure Defender is also protecting non-Azure resources, doing so via the newly announced multi-cloud onboarding in Azure Security Center and Azure Arc. This applies not only to servers, but also data services, enhancing our Azure for SQL reach beyond Azure. We're announcing today Azure Defender for SQL Anywhere. Leveraging Azure Arc, we can create a native Azure experience to all the SQL servers outside of Azure, and by that, extend protection capabilities to SQL resources outside of Azure. By enabling Azure Defender for SQL, you can enjoy Azure Security Center multi-layered protection, SQL, OS, and service layers across hybrid SQL estate, even if your SQL servers are running outside of Azure, on-premises, and other clouds. The integration with Azure Arc extends the current Azure Defender for SQL offering, including its advanced threat protection and vulnerability assessment capabilities for SQL, anywhere it is, on Azure, other clouds, or on-premises. Let's see it in a demo. As you can see, this is the new Azure Defender dashboard, a fully dedicated dashboard just for the threat detection capabilities and advanced controls in Security Center. At the top of the screen, you can easily track your protection coverage and see, for example, I have almost 70% of my resources covered, meaning I have quite a few that are not covered, and I can see exactly where is my gap. I can also see the security alerts from the last 30 days and see if there's any interesting trends or anomalies that I need to take action on. I can also see my advanced protection controls, for example, vulnerability assessment, just-in-time access, adaptive application control, and more. And I can see how many are protected and where I should take action. Let's take a look, for example, at container image scanning. As you can see, I have multiple vulnerabilities coming from our vulnerability assessment solution powered by Qualys. I can look at all the different ones. I can see exactly what are the affected resources, the registries, and if I select one, I see the exact images that are impacted. Let's go back to the alert section and see how SQL on Arc looks like. As you can see, I have here a SQL injection alert coming from a SQL server on Arc machine as part of an AWS environment. I can see the actual details, the agent information. I can see the SQL query that generated the injection. I can see the related entities, the host, the account that was used, the IP addresses. I can also see where it is in the kill chain. This was a pre-attack level. If I look at the next actions, see exactly how to mitigate the current threat and also how to prevent future attacks by using our security recommendations. And now coming back to Yariv to talk about Microsoft Cloud App Security.
Thank you, Meital. Let's talk about our CASB solution. MCAS, the Microsoft Cloud Application Security product, addresses multiple use cases. We are already aware that there are many cloud applications that you need to protect, and the way to do it is by gaining visibility and having controls in place. Those controls must cover not only usage initiated within the corporate network, but also all different ways the cloud is accessed, from public or home Wi-Fi, by external or internal users, accessing with managed or unmanaged devices. We break it down into 3 steps. First, you need to identify and unsanction the applications you don't want to have in your network. You do this by discovering the application, assessing their security and compliance risk, and governing and controlling their usage. 2, when you roll out a SaaS application to your organization, you need to make sure you have the proper secure access and information protection policies in place. So you classify, label, and protect data as it goes to the cloud, but also as it's being shared in the cloud and downloaded from the cloud. And 3, you must monitor your environment for different threats. It could be a malicious insider, a compromised account, a malware using your cloud environment, or a rogue cloud application. Cloud applications are widely adopted, so it was no surprise that when we surveyed the market, we found out, among other things, that our average enterprise customer uses over 1,100 applications, and 80% of their workers use non-sanctioned apps. We also found out that 75% of companies consider SaaS tools essential to their business, and the IT isn't aware of 61% of the cloud applications being used within the organization. This is why MCAS supports over 16,000 cloud applications and provides security posture capabilities across Azure, AWS, and GCP. Enabling secure access to SaaS apps is critical. The need to have secure access to your SaaS apps is not new, but the COVID-19 situation accelerated the need to provide a modern secure access. MCAS provides a modern secure access capabilities through the following processes. It helps you discover all your cloud apps and resources, including shadow IT. This way, you can easily secure and govern the applications your company uses. It analyzes the usage of those apps across users and the data they access. So you can locate, for example, a compromised user and block him from sharing, copying, or downloading files. It enables secure and adaptive access. So for example, a potential compromised user may be asked to re-authenticate, or the admin can decide to block his access to certain apps or data until a proper investigation will take place. It protects your information based on DLP policies and enables granular access control and information sharing capabilities. And last, it provides continuous threat evaluation and protection, like in-session controls that block unwanted behaviors and risks. In the following demo, I will cover 2 main scenarios: shadow IT discovery, including blocking unsanctioned apps, and in-session controls across Microsoft and third-party applications. Let's start with the first scenario. What you see here is the MCAS dashboard that provides an overview of your SaaS app security posture. Now, let's focus on shadow IT discovery. As you can see, there are 297 discovered apps in this organization, and they're categorized by their risk level from low risk to high risk, their app categories across cloud storage, marketing, IT, and more, and whether they're sanctioned or unsanctioned apps. Drilling down into the Cloud Discovery dashboard, you can see the list of apps and their security score. Let's take a look at Microsoft Exchange Online. You can see it has high score because Microsoft is a well-known company. The application withstands all needed security standards, and meets all relevant compliance, regulations, and legal needs. Now, if I'm security admin, I would like to find all the low security graded applications and make sure to unsanction it, as to avoid risk to my organization. Let's take a look at File Dropper. As you can see, it gets low scoring across security, compliance, and legal, and so I would like to unsanction and block its usage. All I need to do is click here, and the application is now blocked from usage in my company. Here, in this case, it's already blocked. You're only 2 clicks away from natively enabling this capability. The second click you just saw, and the first is the Microsoft Defender Security Center, where you enable the connection to MCAS to all applications, and by that, protecting all your company managed devices. Now, let's take a look from the end user side. This is Jane's managed device. Jane is used to working with File Dropper, and now, when she's trying to access File Dropper, like she's used to, and clicking the link, what happens is that she's immediately getting blocked and unable to access File Dropper. And by doing so, what we actually did is we protected the organization from potential harmful by unsanctioning this app. Let's move to the second demo. In this demo, I want to show in-session controls. As a security admin, I want to make sure that risky users are unable to share, copy, download, or print sensitive corporate information, even if they are accessing the data from unmanaged devices. As you can see, one of my risky users is Sylvia. So let's see how I prevent Sylvia from performing the above-mentioned actions. All I need to do is go and define a data leakage prevention policy for Sylvia. I already prepared a policy which is called block data exfiltration for Sylvia. In this policy, I define which activity type I want to prevent, across which applications, and users, obviously. In this case, it's a Sylvia. So I want to block Sylvia from sharing the data. Let's update the policy. Here you can see it's on block. Let's update this policy. Okay, now the policy is updated. And now let's go to Sylvia's computer to see her user experience. As you can see, Sylvia is using all kinds of applications. And now I selected to demonstrate on Box and OneDrive. Let's start with OneDrive. Sylvia is accessing a document that contains sensitive information in the form of social security numbers. Here are the social security numbers. When she selects the information and try to copy it, what will happen? She will get blocked based on the policy. Now she wants to try and print the file. So she goes to print, and the action is blocked. She's unable to print this file. Now she remembers that she potentially can access the same information in Box. So she goes into her Box application and she sees the same file with the social security number informations, and she's trying to download the file. Again, she's getting blocked and unable to perform the action. If she's trying to share the file, this action as well is blocked and she's unable to share the information. So with this, I demonstrated how we have in-session controls across both first-party Microsoft application and third-party applications inside MCAS. And with that, I want to pass it over to Adam to summarize the session.
Thank you, Yariv. We encourage you to start evaluating these new capabilities as part of your cloud security strategy. Use Azure Secure Score to assess your security posture and act on the top 5 recommendations. Leverage Azure Defender to protect your workloads, VMs, data, storage containers, and more. And use Cloud App Security to discover and understand app usage across your org, block unsanctioned use, and enforce policies to control the use of sensitive information. Finally, here are some additional sessions and resources that you can review to learn more. So be sure to check these out. On behalf of Yariv and Maital, thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.